Today I'm talking about a feature by Airtable that I'm a fan of and I love using it in many useful scenarios. I'm talking about the Airtable Calendar View here. I will deep dive into showing you few ways how Airtable Calendar View can be used to keep tab on various important dates in your business. First one is the ability to use Airtable Calendar View in your own regular calendar that you use in your day-to-day life. I mean, while it's nice that you can visualize all date related details from Airtable database on a calendar view, I don't think it's too practical that I'll come to these calendars to check, oh well, let me see what's coming up for me next. I wouldn't, but I'm going to check my Google Calendar every day. So I synchronize the calendar views from Airtable that are important for me into Google Calendar. Some of the scenarios where I sync this into Google Calendar or have done in the past are tracking the follow-up dates from my client CRM so that I can get in touch with them on the respective plan date, maintain invoice dates so I can send invoice to my client in the required dates, track delivery dates for a home delivery service that I was working on a while ago. In that service, I used to share Airtable form that they could fill in their details and preferred delivery date, which would then show up on my calendar automatically and I would act on them accordingly. I also sync some of the calendars from my client's Airtable base into mine, where I am solely responsible for the communication that happens within her business. Most of these are automated, but some of those which are not, I make sure that I don't forget about them in this way. I also sync a birthday calendar that I use to send emails in bulk using mail merge. I will leave a link in the description how you can send emails in bulk using mail merge. Another cool thing that I love about Airtable Calendar is that it can use the calculated columns as date values. Of course, you need to make sure that the date type is the output of the formula for calendar to pick this field, but this opens up so many possibilities. For example, my client can always see her upcoming appointments with her clients depending upon what date they started their program on, or another client of mine can have her invoice dates calculated in the database to always show a certain date in the next month, on which she can trigger an automation or choose to send them manually as per her choice. For my CRM also, it is a calculated date that checks for the latest dates in a series of dates in the table, which is the date I would like to see it in my calendar so I can connect with the respective prospect or leads. Alright, I'm sure you are loving it so far if this is new for you, but that's not all. Apart from using the sync option from other calendars, you can just share a calendar view with public using the public link and choose to share only the columns that you would like them to see. In this way, you can create and share the links with an outside person just once and they'll be able to see all the updated things that are happening in your Airtable database that only you can manage to do from within. That's one way of sharing with the external entity, but if you want to add more context to the Airtable calendar, you can even set up a full-blown web page with added info and then embed your Airtable calendar shared view within that web page. In this case, the advantage is that you get to customize the web page as per your style with an easy to remember URL, but also get to update the embedded code internally without having to reshare the weird looking URL if you happen to update that URL. Speaking of which, I would like to mention that you are not stuck with that URL once generated. Anytime you wish you would like to revoke access to the calendar from an external entity, you can just come to this configuration window and use this button to regenerate the new URL. Just remember that this link is the base link for all other related URLs meant for sharing. So you will have to update those URLs again if you have been using them elsewhere. Lastly, at any point of time you decide this view no longer needs to be accessed from outside of this page, you can simply come down here and disable the view link. Calendar view will still be there in the base, but it will no longer be available for the external syncing or viewing, etc. Whenever you choose to regenerate or disable the shared link, make sure that you have taken into account all the areas that are going to be impacted. And those are some of the basic ways you can use Airtable Calendar View in your use cases. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to you on those. I'm also available for hire if you need someone to set up your own database in Airtable. Use the link in the description below to get in touch with me. This was Snigdha here. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.